Hey guys, I am here today to give you an overview of my calendars and how I use each of them. I've gotten a couple questions from some subscribers, and so I just kind of wanted to break it down for you. I also have something to add to my Traveler's Notebook. Now I'm going to call it a TN because it's just short for Traveler's Notebook. So first I'm going to go through how I use them and show them to you, and then I'll go through and show you an addition that I'm making for it. So this is the last month in my composition book planner. It is very well loved. It's beaten up. It is just very well loved, okay? Dirty, ready to go. And so I've got all of my months and my spreads, and I'm actually really glad to have this just to look back on. I really like looking back and seeing what I was doing and my creative process.
And your unicorn diarrhea.
My unicorn diarrhea. Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
This one she calls my unicorn diarrhea. It was supposed to be a galaxy theme, but okay, I'm gonna agree with her on that one. So I'm glad I did this, but I told you that I have a new 3-ring binder planner coming out for next year, and that's a whole nother video. So I just want to show you how I'm using this larger planner and then how I use my Traveler's Notebook. So for this larger planner, I've got a month layout. This was November, okay? I keep my month layout very basic. Some stickers, some washi, that's it. Not tons of decorating.
What was that?
Y'all, this house is haunted.
Oh my jeez, Cammie. Why does that always fall?
I don't know, let me see it.
This always falls.
This literally just came flying from on top of my cabinets.
And it was stable.
It's literally shoved up there. I don't understand.
Like, the ceiling is holding them up.
I know.
Cammie, stop haunting us.
The dog is like throwing stuff, I guess. The spirit of the dog.
Did you?
All right, so my month spread, very basic. Okay, that's how I like to have my monthly spread. In here, I write the time of the appointment and then a short blip about what the appointment is, okay? Before I go any further, I have myself, I have appointments because I have Graves' disease. My middle daughter has some psychiatric appointments that she needs to attend, along with specialized school appointments because she's receiving some assistance, which is fantastic. But I'm constantly on top of those appointments too. Hannah, the younger one, also has some medical issues. And so she is, I won't say frequently, but I will say more than once a year well checks at a doctor's appointment. So lots and lots of appointments going on here. Also, Hannah is homeschooled, but is in class 3 times a week for PE, music, and art. So we have a lot of appointments that we have to take care of. And so when I'm scheduling appointments for myself, Selena, and Hannah, I have a lot of things to go around. This book is my big one that I keep on my desk that I pull out on Sunday night and focus on because I get to write as much as I want in these areas here. So I have my YouTube, I have appointments, I have lists and goals that I like to keep for myself, I have pretty decorations that I like to draw. This is the area that if I want to do tons of stickers, I can. What else do I keep in here? Reminders for myself, positive quotes. Keep positive quotes around you. Keep pictures of family. things that keep you realizing your goals for the week. Okay. I add in, little reminders here. Again, lists, maybe things I need to pick up. What else would I put in here? I will put in, let's see, meal. I will put in meal plans. If I have, a list of things that I want to make that week, I will put meals in here. Yeah, I mean, this is really where I make lists and plan out each day. So, although this is great to have, I'm not carrying this big thing with me. Nor am I going to carry the new one. Even though it is a miniature 3-ring binder, that's still too big for me to carry around. I don't like it. It's too bulky. That's where my traveler's notebook comes in. This, look at the size of it in my hand. Super tiny.
Perfect.
I like to have danglies because it makes me happy. You don't have to have danglies. If that irritates you, just take it off. Sorry, that was my phone. So this is the one that I stick in my purse and I take with me. So today is a busy day. Dental appointment for dental appointment for Hannah. Possibly school for Hannah. We'll see how she feels. And a specialized appointment for Selena at 3:30. So today I'm going to be bringing this with me. Okay. So this question was asked by Kathleen. So hi Kathleen. I am going to explain how I use my TN. So I explained the big one. My TN, like I said, is small, pocket-sized. Love throwing it in my purse and going. So here's how I set up my TN. Ooh, I took it off wrong. Hang on. I don't want to do that because it's going to get messed up in my charms. Okay. So I've got 3 little notebooks in my TN here. I think you could add a 4th. I'm pretty sure you could add a 4th if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep it at 3. Yeah. So these I made into individual months. Okay. This was November. So I created this calendar on Word. It's a Word document. And I just simply went in, measured the front of this composition book, these miniature composition books that I recover. I measured it, and then I created this grid on Word document. And I just simply glued it in here. There is not a lot of space. Look at the tip of my finger compared to one of those squares. There's not a lot of space to write anything. So what I do is I simply write AP for appointment. So if I had 3 appointments on this day, I would write AP, 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 all on this date. Then I go over here and I describe the time of the appointment and who and what it's for. So when I go to check out at a doctor's appointment, or I'm at the school and I need to make a follow-up appointment with the school, I simply pull this out of my bag and I look and say, oh, you want to do an appointment on the 20th? Okay, well, I have an appointment on the 20th, but it's at 3:20 for William. I don't need to go to that. He's more than capable of doing his ear appointment by himself, audiology. So I could actually do any day or any time that day. But I also need to keep in mind Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have standing appointments for, let me flip to one, school. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, we have standing appointments, and I can usually remember those. And so I don't include them in this AP because I know Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, I know when her schooling is, but I will show you here how I do it. Okay, so that was November. December's a little bit fuller. This is this month that we're working on. And as you can see, I filled up my whole sticky note here. And the only reason I'm using sticky notes is because I hate erasing and crossing out and marking through. So if I use sticky notes, I can always take it off and redo the sticky note if I have to cancel an appointment, things like that. So again, you'll see AP. Today's the 11th. I have 2 appointments. I have a dental appointment for Hannah and it's called ADORS, Division of Rehabilitative Services, for Selena. So this is where I write out the appointment, who it's for. I have to attend both of those. So I have to be careful what I'm scheduling today. Tomorrow, Hannah has an appointment. Right there. So this is how I use my TN. Okay? And so I keep 3 months in here at a time. Here's my January. And I've got February down here just because I don't have my February book in here yet. Now what I was looking at was whether I could fit 4 in here because Lori, I've been talking about traveler's notebooks and planning with also. She had a really good question about 6-month appointments. Since this is all I carry with me, what do you do for 6-month appointments? Well, you could always keep like a running list right here of anything, you know, out. You could just kind of put a large post-it note here and just write February, March, April. Let's see, December, January, February, March, April. That would bring you about 5 months out. But you could divide it up and do 4 months on here. That's one idea, but that might be a little much for such a small area. So this is what I came up with for you, Lori. I know I described it in an email to you, but I'd like to show you so you can get the visual of it also. So this is what I came up with. Da-da-da. Another notebook, you guys. So this one I turned into, never mind my post-it notes, I need to make flags for them. This one I turned into a 6-month overview, kind of like these, and I'll show you what I mean. All right. So this one, I reused some scrapbook paper that I had just laying around. I didn't want to waste any, so I used that. And I'm going to put some tabs on the side here. I've already got those. I'll show you how I'm going to put those in. So what I did was, I'm actually out of computer paper right now. So we went old school and we got out our ruler and our pen and we drew out a grid because I don't have any printer paper. Okay, so this is what I came up with. I put 6 months in here. So I've got January, and I haven't added any appointments in because I'm not done making this yet. But the same things are going to apply since, again, these boxes are not big. AP, that's all I'm going to write on here, AP. And then what I did was I left 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for you to go into detail about what that AP means. So since you're using a whole month right here at a glance, I thought I'd give you some room to write yourself a little bit of extra notes. Plus, you've got some pages here in between. I will tell you that I again doubled up these pages. I forgot to tell you that. All of my pages, I went in and doubled up. I just glued them together because otherwise you get bleed through. So these composition books, these little composition books have 50 pages in them. By the time I get done with them, they have 25. Because I prefer to have a nice sturdy page that I can write using my fine tip Sharpie in and not have bleed through. See, they're glued together. That's my preference. If you don't care if you have bleed through or if you need more pages, then that's perfectly fine. You go and do that your way. But I personally doubled them up because I would prefer have less pages and not have bleed through. So that's what I did with this one. Again, I went in and doubled up all the pages. And then I wrote out January 19th, or January 2019. And then I gave myself 1, 2, 3, 4, and again I put a post-it note here because I just enjoy writing on post-it notes before I make it a permanent entry. And then here's February. Again, I would write AP for appointment, and then back here is where I have plenty of room to explain what that appointment is and what time it is, what's it for, any kind of notes. I know sometimes I have appointments at the main hospital over the bridge, and our hospital is ginormous, and it literally has like 6 garages to choose from to park in because it has like 6 buildings in it. And so when you're talking about, oh, it's just, you know, there's an appointment over at the hospital, I need more specifics, please. I need to know what garage to park in. I need to know which building it's in. So that, again, is here I have room to write that. So I've got this, I haven't even labeled yet. What is this? See, I left it unlabeled for you guys because I wanted to do one on camera with you. So that's February. That's March. See, I've already got an appointment marked right here. Selena S. Dentist, 11:50. But I need to go put it on my calendar here. And I didn't even, it was late last night. I didn't even write the month. Okay, so that's March. Gave myself some days in between. And then I've got April. Gave myself some days in between. May. And then I wanted to do June on camera with you guys so I could give you the measurements of how I did this since I'm doing it all by hand. Okay, so let's go in and create the calendar for June of 2019 on here on camera, and then we'll go back and we'll put our tabs in. I'll show you how I'm gonna tab these, and then I'll show you kind of how I plan in here. Very basic. All right, so we've got, again, January, February, March, April, and May already done. We're gonna go in and do June. Now, of course, I'm gonna start in pencil because I'm chaotic mom and I make tons of mistakes. So here's what I'm really working with. I use this as the top, of course, of my calendar. And then I use all of the lined area. So this is how I measured out. I'm going in with my ruler and I'm going to start at this edge over here. And I'm going to mark off at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and I'm just putting a little tick there. 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch. Then I start on this side over here and I go in 3/4 of an inch. I don't know if it really truly makes a huge difference. I don't know if it hugely makes a difference, but this is how I did it, so. 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So now you've got 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns, 6 columns, 7 columns, 8 columns. This column is a notes column. See, I just labeled it notes. And then we have Sunday through Saturday. So I'm going to go down and do the same thing on the bottom so I have straight lines to work with. So I'm going to go down here, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. And then I'm going to go from this side, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. Oh. So here is where I've got my grid laid out. I like by starting my lines going down here, and I'm just going to go from this top line and bring it straight off the page. Okay? I'm going to bring it from this top line and go straight off the page. So I'm just making some vertical columns right now. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to continue on this side from the top line straight down. And this would be a lot easier if I made it on Word, but like I said, I don't have any more computer paper, so you use what you got, guys. If you don't have a printer, get your good old pencil out. So now all I'm going to do is create this top one right here where my days of the week are going to sit. And it's really just following this top line. So just line it up. Give yourself a nice bold line. Okay. Now what I like to do is right now I like to write notes right here to remind myself not to go horizontal on that. So let me write the word notes just to remind myself that I like to leave this completely blank. For here, I'm doing every three lines. So each box gets 3 lines, and that gives you 5 weeks to plan out on. So you do 1, 2, 3, and you draw a line. 1, 2, 3, and you draw a line. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we're going to do this side. Okay, so now we have our grid set up for us. And I did it, look, I did it, you guys, after I said I didn't want to. Look at that, I did it. What are you gonna do? You know, I did it. I did exactly what I said I didn't want to do. Who cares? Whatever, we deal with it. Chaotic mom. All right, now we're gonna go in and we're gonna set up our calendar. I tried to write like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday on this first one. That got a little bit cramped up. So instead, I'm going in with the good old Sun Mun Two's Wed. So SUN MON TUE WED THUR FRI and SAT. Okay. Now I'm going to look up on my phone here a June calendar so I can get the dates right. That's fine.
I feel myself sweating.
Yeah, that's good though. Means you're sweating it out. All right, June 2019. What, Maya? I know, she's so ridiculous, all wrapped up in her.
Can I get her out, do you think?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
So June starts on the 1st, which is a Saturday, and goes to the 30th. All right, so June 1st starts on a Saturday. So now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to fill in my calendar. And I needed to make one of these slash boxes down on the bottom to go all the way to 30. All right, let's label this June 2019. Let me go back and label my other one that I didn't label either. Let's see where that was. I think it was March I didn't label. Yep, March. March 2019. Oh, I did mark on here. See, I did. I put an AP right there to signify that appointment for Selena. Where did that go? Oh, this way. Oh, flipping the wrong way. To signify that Selena has an appointment on the 19th. So, this is a 6-month calendar. So that's for Lori, who said that she's having a hard time deciding how to schedule 6 months out. So, Lori, what you could do is you could either just make this a 2-month, which I think that would be a little difficult. You can either take out, you know, the 3rd month, like we're done with November. So technically I could take this out and just stick this one in here and make this my, like my 6-month overview. And then you've got a 6-month calendar and then 2 months worth of calendars if you wanted to do that. Which actually would be fine because you have this 6-month calendar. So with each month passing, just take out the one that you're done with, like when December's done, take out December and put in February. So then you have January and February. I mean, that's not a bad idea because then you're still working with the same size notebook that slides in and out of your purse, and there's just not a lot to it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and put in some little tabs. That's how I'm going to use it. So thank you for the idea, Lori, for making me ponder and think, because we also do that. We also have 6-month appointments that we need to put out. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, that with this little tiny TN that we only had 3 months to work with. So I am actually going to use it this way. So let me put in my tabs here and get this set up. So all I'm doing is I'm going to take these little scrap pieces of paper, same little unicorn thing. I made them, I don't know, a 1/2 inch long or something by 1 inch wide, and I just folded them over. And then I am simply going to tape them in, use my label maker to put the month on the side, and that way I'll be able to flip to the month. I'm going to use my brother's P-Touch label maker here. I'm going to make it the smallest font possible So you've got large font and small font. And then I'm just going to use a very brief JAN for January, because I want these to be tiny. See? And then FEB for February. Going to cut it down super tiny so it fits perfectly on my piece of cardstock here. And it is going to hang off like this, so I want it like that. Okay. January. And I'm going to put it right here, and I am going to use good old-fashioned Scotch tape to adhere it down. I don't see this getting too banged up because it's going to be in the case here. And I think it'll be kind of protected by the sides there. We'll see as soon as I'm done though. Yeah. All right, so here's what this looks like. Okay, we've got January, flip to January, February, March, April, May, and then I have to create one for June. Okay, we took out, let me find the center. We took out November since November's done, and we're going to replace it with our 6-month calendar. And that, I think, is going to be just fine. I don't see it being a problem that the tabs are all right here because they're not sticking out so much that they're going to get caught on things. I don't think. If that bothers you, then please feel free to put the tabs all the way in. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll still be able to catch them. But I do like the idea of being able to flip to things easily. So, I hope that this answered some questions for you guys. Kathleen, I hope that I answered your question on what I use my TN for. And Lori, I hope I figured out or helped you figure out how to do your 6-month planning too. Let me just quickly go over. You'll see this in my Plan With Me videos, that when I do my large planner, okay, all I do is just take a little bit of the washi, whatever I'm using for this week. I'll take a little bit of the washi and I will just go in and just lightly put some washi in the days of the week, just to give it a little bit of prettiness. It doesn't take me but maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes to put some washi in these. So that's it, guys. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask. I love to clarify things for you, and I love that you guys are asking questions. This is what this community is all about for me. I love being able to share my ideas, and I love it when you guys share your ideas, because I have learned so much from you guys, and I learn when you ask me questions. I had no intention on doing this 6-month planner, but you know what? Lori asked me that question. I was like, what a genius idea. Let's go ahead and get a 6-month calendar going. So I encourage you guys to interact, and just thank you so much for being a part of this channel. And thank you for sharing your days with me, and I just couldn't ask for a better community. So I hope that you guys found some use in this, and if you did, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to Chaotic Mom, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.